great over. Look at that. Double wicket maiden from the skipper. None for two.
Hello everyone, welcome back to another episode of Double Wicket Maiden. Eman and I are joined by Raiyan, Critic 2 on Twitter. You might know him from Twitter, or if you've heard previous episodes, since he was there in the last cover drive episode that we did to review the second test in Sri Lanka. We'll try to cover the exorbitant amount of cricket that's been happening since the test match ended, but we'll mostly try to cover the test series that happened in Sri Lanka because we finally won a test series after what felt because we feel that test cricket is real cricket, so that's what we'll be focusing on, but we'll also try to cover all the leagues that are happening around the world. But if we forget any details, please forgive us. To start us off, Eman, Raiyan, any initial thoughts on the test win?
Yeah, I mean, if you kind of like think of where we are right now, considering the Ashes ended in a tie, I don't care what anyone says about retaining something or taking something home or whatever it is. And then they also lost a bucket load of points. And then India, as we speak, has just lost to West Indies in the T20. West Indies, by the way, did not qualify for the T20 World Cup last year, like the main round at least. So, you know, everyone's in the dumps. Meanwhile, we've just won a series and we won the last test by an innings. And I think that last day of cricket, I said that I really enjoyed the batting that we did. We got to see Abdullah, we got to see Saud, we got to see such amazing knocks. But then the last day was just something out of a proper dream. I feel like it didn't get the hype that it deserved. I feel like the sonnets that they're writing about Moeen Ali should be written about Nauman Ali. I mean, I think we had something really special. His name is Nauman Ali, right? Why did I feel so weird saying that?
We always call him Nomi or no Chacha. Probably.
His name is Nauman Ali. I feel like I always call him Nomi Chacha. I've not said his full name in a while.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So him, yeah. I feel like we're in such a good place right now that I'm happy. I'm doing good. I'm thrilled to be recording this review. What about you, Ryan? What do you think?
Yeah, generally quite happy with how everything went in the series. Couldn't really have asked for anything more apart from like maybe Babar getting a bit more runs because I wanted that 50 average. But I guess I'll have to wait till Australia now.
Right.
I mean, honestly, I enjoyed everything that went on, but I would be hypocrite if I said anything other than of the last 200. Like that took the cake for me. It was everything I could have wished for. I asked for a 50. He instead, delivered an amazing knock. I mean, it's not just I was 200. It was, imagine that I don't know how many tests has he played, 8 or 9. How many tests has he played? I'm
God
not
knows.
too
Somewhere around that, yeah. Somewhere around that.
whatever. But people are like, okay, he was a prodigy, but then suddenly he was no one, and people were saying, get him out and drop him, and okay, drop him and something like that. And that was just, I mean, I wanted him to shut his haters up. I wanted people to go easy on him, but the way that he did it, it was just out of a dream. Last year when I still think his innings last year was better than this year's because that was something else. But what he did last year, I was like, how can you people forget what he did? He won you the match single-handedly. He was just there batting on the innings, the second innings, the one that we just did not bat, and then he came and chased God knows how much in, like, I forget numbers, but God knows how much in the 4th innings.
Yeah.
And I was like, you guys are forgetting that it's gonna come bite you all back. And then it did. So I'm glad. I love being right about things. So I'm glad I was right about that. But also before I say anything else, Salman Ali Aga, I think we all need to take a moment and appreciate the vision that Raiyan had about Zoha and Eman when all of us did not. He was there before everyone else. And I think this is something that only Raiyan gets to claim, because he did it before everyone else. He did it before it was cool. So yeah. Raiyan, what are your thoughts on Salman Ali Aga as the official president of the fan club?
Well, I mean, to be fair, I did not have the idea of like Salman in Test. That I thought like was a far gone thing. I very much wanted him in ODIs, and I only was on board with the Test idea. Okay, he'll get enough batting time in Test, and he'll take that confidence to ODIs, which hopefully is what happens, because I'm really happy that like he has a Test career, but I really just want the ODI thing to be fine. I don't really care what happens otherwise. But yeah, I'm really happy for him. It's he's lucky that like he went through that 2020 season, because you see all these domestic players right now, and you know whatever holds them back is that either they weren't part of the 2020 season, or they were like they didn't do well in the 2020 season. So because that was like the only season where you could actually assess a player. Okay, the bowling conditions were actually okay, but they weren't too in favor of the bowlers. They were like, there was that middle ground that you never ever get, but somehow you got it in that season, and that's why you can like properly assess players from that season at least, unless they're Kamran Ghulam, and then it's God knows what he's done.
I feel a bit bad for him sometimes, but on your point that Agha's confidence in ODIs is going to be increased with Test, I like that he said that as well after the match when he spoke to the PCB media people. He was like, "Okay, the best thing about this is when you win a match for your team and when you perform so well, then you get to feel like good about yourself and you can go out there and win the game." And he did win the game. Honestly, I think one of the best moments for me is when he won Player of the Series, because I mean, he got a few wickets and he scored some really important runs, but you always feel like the Player of the Series is going to be taken by someone who like top scored in the runs, who like scored double centuries. We had 2 double centuries somehow, or like some guy that took like 8-9 wickets, Joby, in a Test. And instead it was taken by some guy who like bats at 7, took a few important wickets when we needed them, and then also scored a shit ton of runs. Like not the most, certainly not the most, but yeah, I love that about it. I think that was a really great moment. And I also thought that Rizwan coming out and then scoring a 50 and then us immediately after, I thought that was iconic. I know a lot of people were mad about it, but you know what? It was amazing and we won. So like it was like, oh, time waste kar rahe hain. Shut up. Rizwan got a 50, bro. We need him. Let him get the 50s.
Yeah, and on like the Salman point in general, like the Salman series was very like Safraz from like 2013-14 Sri Lanka tour, and Safraz from 2015 Sri Lanka tour, like coming at 7 and then batting at like 70-80 strike rate. That's what like Safraz did on those tours, and well, it was like nice to see like, oh, it's still the same Pakistani number 7 bugging Sri Lanka again. So that was fun. Obviously, like he did it better, but it's Salman.
Also, like,
right.
No, I was just saying with Salman, it takes me back to Raiyan's article, which is on his Medium if anyone wants to read. It's not about Test series, but like he's not the guy you would pick to be your hero. Like if you were thinking about, like Eman said, you wouldn't think that he'll be the player of the series. But then when you sit down and think about it, like if I thought about it when we were discussing in our previous episode that I want to be the player of the series, I said Abrar, and then I said Shaheen, because that's the kind of like for example, Shaheen is that guy. He becomes blockbuster wherever he goes. Like the 100, he just played one game and 100 is suddenly all about Shaheen. Well, Agha is not that guy, but suddenly, you know what? I think it's something about the Pakistani underdog doing well. I think it's something else. And I'm so glad that we get to have that. and so often, because if you think about it, we've had that like underdog story so many times. Hassan Ali, I think, in the Champions Trophy, like after Amir, it was like Hassan Ali coming and shining. I think it's something that does things to my heart. And I think this is why I love cricket so much. Because there's always some guy who's gonna do what you don't expect them to do, and then they're gonna win you great things. And I think everyone should go read Raiyan's article because he does it way more justice than I just did. But yeah, he may not be the hero you thought, but then he'll do what he needs to do, and then he'll be maybe or maybe not remembered, but he's what you need right now, and that works out well for us, especially for me, because I like watching us win test games because we don't very often. But yeah,
I think we've talked about Aka so many times, and it's just crazy to me that it's an off spin all rounder. I know he's a batting all rounder, yeah, but technically he's an off spinner. An off spinner all rounder has this much aura that whether it's about ODIs or whether it's about tests, our conversation goes back to Aga Salman or Salman Aga. What is his name? Is it Salman Aga?
It's
Salman
Salman
Ali
Ali Aga, yeah.
Salman Ali
Thanks to
Aga.
Lahore, everybody calls him Aga Salman now. Because they one time in 2018 they messed up, and now like his cricket for profile is still Aga Salman.
Yeah,
Which
they
is
need to
funny
change.
because Noman actually requested Cricinfo that can you
Yeah.
please change my name from NAAU to NO,
No, man.
which obviously gave rise to like the Lord of the Rings memes, which was so good. Can no man can kill me? I am no man.
They also
Oh.
need to change his picture, Aga's, I mean, on Cricinfo, because no offense to Aga if he's listening by any chance, that is embarrassing and kind of like it's just like it doesn't have that aura. Aga has an aura now. That picture is not it. Please go check it right now if you haven't seen it. It's so bad. I'm sorry. I'm sorry if you're listening.
Or you can change it right now, or you can change it in October, November when he's posing with the trophy. I'm not saying which
with the trophy Wali picture, first of its kind on Cricinfo. No headshot with the trophy.
Yeah, this picture of Aga, which I just saw, is probably from his like 2017, 2016, 17 Qaid-e-Azam Trophy seasons when he was averaging under 20 with the bat for 2 seasons. And that would have been the end of his career if like he hadn't scored in 2019. So yeah.
Damn. See, like this is why you're president of Aga fan club, because like I don't know any of that. I don't think anyone maybe Aga doesn't even know any of that, to be honest.
I think he remembers not averaging 20 for 2 years.
Yeah, but yeah. Oh, we should also talk about Naseem, guys. Like
I was about to say, what about Naseem?
That was it was a moment. It will be remembered for years to come, for decades to come. That was a spell for the ages, actually. And I feel like we finally got some retribution with the end, the 3 wickets, all 3 of them, and all 3 of them beautiful deliveries. I thought that was amazing.
Also that one over. Someone needs to talk about that over because I can't. I was about to throw something at my TV, and I would have sent the Third Empire or the DRS the bill for that, because how was that? How were all of them missing? But how was it was just not. You know what? I don't know if you guys have seen. I know Eman and Raiyan have, but I don't know if everyone listening has seen that clip. But there's this one clip of Naseem from back to his training days when he goes like, "Meri kismat achhi nahi thi, khuda ne unki side thi." I think that clip is Naseem's entire career. The World Cup final, the test. Like, how does this keep happening to Naseem? Uski hi kismat achhi nahi hoti, baki har kisi ki kismat achhi hoti hai. This cannot, like, he's too young. I see 20, I don't know if he's 20, 21, but he's too young to have, like, I think already 3 big moments where this has happened to him, and he's too young. I think this is too too much for us. It was too much for me. I don't know. बेचारा जब लेट गया था ना ज़मीन पे, I was like, this is God, if you're listening to me, we divine intervention right now, right fucking now. Enough is enough. But yeah, I mean, one thing about that moment was like when Naseem just lay down on the ground, उस वक्त जो सबके reactions थे ना, Shaheen is like holding his face, and Imam will have for I don't know what fucking reason he's just laughing. Like, can you read the room? You're part of the Pakistani team. You're not there with the Sri Lankan team. I don't know what was amusing to him, but apparently something was. But yeah, Naseem Shah. I don't think I have enough words to describe what his spell was, because I remember I talked about it with my father during the World Cup, that he said his spell in the final was his coming of age. But then I think this spell was also his coming of age. So I don't know how many times he's gonna come of age. But Naseem Shah, he just keeps bettering himself. Like this, I don't know. I don't have enough words. I think Raiyan, you should talk about it. I'm not eloquent enough to talk about Naseem's spell.
Well, basically, like I didn't catch that entire over. Okay, I tuned into that over while I was in the hospital. I was like, right at that moment, I tuned in when they rejected his second appeal, and he was like hands on heads and like was he lying down on the floor on the second appeal or the third appeal? Anyway, he was lying down on the floor, and I was like, भाई match की situation ऐसी थी इन लोग को they were leading by like 300 runs. What possibly could have happened that they're all so disappointed कि पता नहीं अभी match हार गए. Like the reactions were so visceral. I was like, what could possibly have happened? कि they're all so disappointed. And then like was stream cut गई कि पता नहीं कि. And then they showed me the review and I was like, my God. How does this keep happening to him?
Honestly.
And on the tail enders wickets thing, I actually got mad at the Sri Lankan tail enders क्योंकि आपने देख लिए कि 4 fit ball अंदर आ रही है and you're still standing on leg stump, Tino stump expose करके मतलब at least try to. लेकिन उन्होंने कहा नहीं भाई उसने नसीब की किस्मत खराब की हम नहीं करने वाले ये लो स्टम्प्स मारो.
Honestly, I kind of with the first one that he got, like I loved his reaction. I kind of summed it up because he was like relieved and he was just like jogging. And then he was like super like, yeah, I got the wicket, whatever, all that stuff. And that's like kind of like perfect Naseem in a way. And honestly, I got really lucky in the sense that I was at work. So obviously, sorry to my coworkers or employers who might listen in to this, but I don't always watch test cricket at work. But this was, I was getting the feeling it was a final day. I was like 50 ki partnership ho gayi thi with no wicket fallen. Then Nomi got a wicket on the first delivery. Then he kept getting wickets. And I was like, I should tune in when Naseem was bowling. So I tuned in like 2 hours before that. And I was thinking, I was like, I should go, like, this is really good, but I can watch it later. And so watching that and then going through the wave of emotions, I was literally like, I was so upset. The entire timeline on Twitter was like literally screaming. Okay, like some people are like, he's in pain, take him off, it's too hot. And some people are like, isko wicket kyun nahi de rahe, keep bowling him. And like, it was basically like everyone was going mental. And then he got the wicket and everyone was like, yeah, finally a wicket. And then he got another one. And then they're like, I think 9 down at this point. And then everyone was just like, oh, wow. And then he got the third one. Everyone was like, oh, it was kind of like, it was good retribution. But even though I'm saying that, it wasn't perfect. It wasn't what Naseem deserved. He doesn't deserve tail-ender wickets. He deserves like, and he's gotten the best batters out many times. In fact, I think Raiyan even pointed this out on Twitter the other day about how like, the people that are too good to kind of fall for Shaheen's traps are the ones that fall for Naseem. Fall to Naseem. And I thought that was a really interesting point. But I also just want Naseem to be like, not just the most threatening bowler, but also the highest wicket taker. I just like I want that for him. I thought the spell where he was giving consecutive maidens were so good, and it was so frustrating to see the batters not making a single mistake. And I feel like when you're watching someone like Naseem bowling, where you're like enthralled by his action, you're enthralled by how he's landing the ball in the same place every single time, and you can see what trap he's setting because he's so smart. But it's also so obvious to the viewer, like when you pay attention to how he bowls, but then you don't carry wickets. Like it's just, I feel like my frustration from that day is coming out. I haven't ranted about this since then. Like it's just, it was a really, really difficult thing to watch. And while the 3 wickets were great, and I'm so happy for him, and it makes his like numbers look a lot better. It wasn't enough. But I'm hoping, maybe, who knows, Australia tour will bring proper results for him. Who knows?
Yeah, hoping
not
for
me.
the best for Adram on Australia tour.
Look, one can dream.
Yeah. Where is he, by the way, right now? What league is he playing in? He must be playing in something.
He's
LPL.
playing. Yeah, he's bullying Matthews right now. Nah?
Oh yeah, back there. Lol. Yeah.
But also with Naseem, it's again back to, I think, what everyone says about him, that he doesn't get wickets because he's too good. For anyone who doesn't like watch cricket, they're gonna be like, oh, that's bullshit. But oh my god, man, like that's heartbreaking because he's so good. Like he's not gonna get the wicket that he deserves because he's so good. And I know people might come out with their pitchforks when I say, because they're gonna say, "Hey, kya hai? You are just anti-Numan Ali." But Numan Ali got the wickets because of Naseem. So technically, he got the wickets Naseem deserved, and that's all I'm trying to say about this. That where is the justice? If like that does not make sense to me. I know from like technical and whatever point of view, it makes sense. And I know very serious analysts might take offense to it and they'll tell me I don't know how to watch Test cricket, but trust me, those were Naseem's wickets. I'll take that opinion to my grave. Those were Naseem's wickets. I don't know if anyone wants to call me a villain or they want to call me anti-Numan Ali, but 7 wickets are great. Yeah, go Numan Ali. But those were Naseem's wickets, man. Yeah. Also, like, I was watching the match. I was babysitting my cousin's son. He's just 7 months, and I was watching the game with him. And I was growing frustrated, and the baby didn't know what was going on. But then I don't know. I think I'm not making this up. There's something about Naseem because when he got the 3 wickets, my nephew did not take his eyes off the TV. So I think Naseem's charm works on people of all ages. Guys, we need to do something about him. He needs to be protected. I won't say from who. We all know who is very good at handling the Pakistani fast bowlers, but I won't say who. But he needs to be protected. Is all I'm saying. Cushion him in cotton wool. Cushion him in till the Asia Cup and the World Cup and the Test series. But we need to protect Shaheen and Naseem. They're too precious. Yeah, I'm putting this Shaheen in there as well because I don't want him to get injured either.
आजकल तो Shaheen पे बड़ी discourse चल रही है in terms of like what kind of how he's bowling, what his actions like, what his speeds are like, what length he's bowling. And I think this time last year, Naseem पे discourse चल रही थी where some people were obsessed with analyzing Naseem's action and kind of trying to prove that he was going to injure himself. Was that this time last year? It was around this time last year, I think.
Yeah, it was. I think
because it was the Sri Lanka series.
Yeah, and this time
because Sohail started it.
Yeah,
also
and this
during the
basically
also during the ODIs, Netherlands ODIs, they were saying that he's landing on the wrong foot or something like that. Yeah, there was. I remember reading that tweet that he's landing. I don't know, something about that.
They always have something to say about these guys, and it's really frustrating. Kal ki jo, like, I don't know when this episode's gonna go up, but basically yesterday was the first game for Shaheen in this year's the 100, and he got 2 wickets and 2 deliveries, right? Everyone saw that, and then he got hit for 4s in like the next, I don't know, 6 deliveries or something. And everyone is like losing it. And everyone is losing it, not because 2 wickets and 2 deliveries, by the way, which a small portion of Twitter is losing it over that. Most of Twitter is losing it over the fact that he's getting hit for boundaries. By the way, it was
Yeah.
a 40 ball aside game. They had to score 94, which is like a run rate they have a run per ball thing. So it was 2.38 or something like that. And it was like, my God, what do you expect the batters to do? Be like, oh no, hame bahut dar lag raha hai, hum nahi karenge. Oh, by the way, Shaheen was bowling full and straight at the stumps. So
Yeah.
my G was bowling full tosses half the time. But like, the point is, right? It was, first of all, why are you discussing the 100 in detail? Second of all, why are you shocked that Shaheen is bowling full? Third of all, I actually don't know if I'm the third point or not, but it was the most ridiculous thing in the world. It's like, can you be happy about 2 wickets and 2 deliveries? Like, why are you making this into something that it's not supposed to be? Like, I'm sorry. In no universe did God intend for us to like judge how many deliveries, how many boundaries Shaheen's getting hit for in the 100. God did not want that. Actually,
Yeah.
God did not want the 100, but that's a different conversation.
You know
Anyway,
what was funnier was the same people who were saying that he's getting hit for boundaries were the same people saying that 100 is not real and it should not be taken seriously. If it should not be taken seriously, why are you worried about him getting hit for boundaries? Just let it be. But yeah,
that
um,
was the thing.
but also Shaheen's 100 wickets and Naseem's 50 wickets, that also
Yeah.
happens. So
God,
yeah,
it's been a crazy few weeks, honestly.
yeah.
But you know
What else happened?
there's we were talking about this before the episode started, but there's so many different leagues going on. But you know what I'm really enjoying? I'm enjoying the Pakistan Shaheens ke games. They're so much fun, guys. They're honestly so much fun to watch. Like, they're just a bunch of kids, and like they defended a ridiculously low total the other day, and it was so much fun because that pitch was, it was made for spinners, and I didn't know that Australia could do that. I mean, obviously they can at that level, but it was just like ridiculous. I was like, this is some random Australian team, and we're kicking their ass with our spin attack of like, these kids who I barely know. I mean, Faisal Akram is a name that we've heard, but like Ali Asfan, I don't know these guys. I don't watch a lot of these kids
Yeah.
play cricket. Raiyan probably knows all of them, but I don't, right? So it was so much fun for me. And then yesterday, I think it was, and they have games every single day, by the way. Today was their first rest day. So like the past
Yeah.
5 days, they had 4 games, which is
Yep.
so easy to watch. Way better than some global T20 that's going on or whatever. Sorry. But like, yeah, it's just like low stakes. I mean, I just feel like the patriotic side of me really loves every single time there's a team that says Pakistan on it. But yeah, anyways, that's my input for what's happening in the week. What are you guys watching in cricket these days?
I mean, I don't know. I'm not watching everything, but I'm watching a bit of everything. Like, I don't know. And this is so weird because it's confusing to me. Because last night I watched Shahid Afridi get Rizwan out, and then he got, I think Rasi went. I don't know if I'm wrong. I think he got Rasi out. Yeah. Yeah, he got them out, but then I also watched in the same game, by the way, Zaman Khan bowled. So, like, I don't know what's happening in the world of cricket. Zaman Khan and Afridi are playing in Canada, and then um, Haris and Shaheen are playing the 100, and like Babar is playing, I think, in Sri Lanka. I mean, there's just so much going on. I cannot watch that much cricket. I just watch. My strategy is put on the TV when some of our guys are there and then turn it off when they're done. That's how I'm keeping up with cricket because otherwise I cannot. Raiyan, are you keeping up with everything that's going on?
No, the only person who can keep up with everything is Abdullah Bhai, and he makes sure that everybody else on Twitter manages to keep up just because he's keeping up with it. Thanks to his updates. But yeah, no, I used to like watch every game that had a Pakistani player, but that is just not feasible anymore. So now I just watch the games that I've either Shadab or Heather. So if Heather's batting, I'll pick it up and put the TV on. And if Shadab's batting, I'll go and put the TV on. Everybody else is fine, whatever.
Yeah,
I
I
hope
think
they have fun. And the
I
seam bowling.
yeah, I know when Heather and Shadab are playing, when Raiyan या CD का depressing message आता है, group में कि like
Yeah,
कुछ
फिर-
like basically it's just about like something's happened, like something bad's happened. Let's like
Yeah.
one of them's batting or bowling or whatever, and something terrible's happened. But yeah.
But also, like, I'm glad that the guys are having fun because I know I was watching this clip, it was circulating on Twitter. There was Azam Khan was sleeping, Usman Khan was bowling, and it was Haris, and I think Ifti was like they were on the crease. So it's just the stump mic was catching Azam Khan and Haris talking. And Azam Khan is like, "Oh, you're trying to play him well. Abhi tum out ho jaoge." He was talking in Urdu. And yesterday, Afridi, the game that Afridi was, I think it was the Rizwan's team versus, I'm sorry, I don't know their names. I just remember them by who the players are. It was Afridi's team versus Rizwan's team, and उसके अंदर भी stop mic सिर्फ उर्दू में बात कर रहे थे. उस दिन in the LPL, the team which has Babar, Naseem
Nawaz.
and Nawaz, they also were speaking in Urdu. So I think this is Pakistan colonizing the leagues, I think. Because also, I don't know if you guys have seen that, but the Babar, Naseem, and Nawaz, they're also having a blast. Every few days, there's a clip of them, doing something on the field. So I'm glad that they're getting paid and they're having fun. I know everyone says कि इतना सारा नहीं खेलना चाहिए franchise cricket, but like they're having fun, they're making money. I'm enjoying it. They're enjoying it. Everyone should enjoy it.
Also, after like the test series, I'm bowling 4 overs is not that
Yeah.
hard. And it's good practice for them. Honestly, I'm not really fussed about it as long as the people that are supposed to be concerned about this stuff are concerned about it. I hope
Yeah.
they are. I hope they're like keeping track of this. It's if I'm gonna start worrying about this as well, like I'm already worried about Australia. I'm already worried about the ODI World Cup. What else am I supposed to worry about? But another thing is it's crazy how many leagues there are. I know everyone always says that, but it's also crazy how many leagues are happening at the same time. And the fact that people in Pakistan, like us, but also like so many fans, are following every single one of them. And like we don't know the names of the teams and a lot of things, and we like watch when we can. But so many people are genuinely following them. And that's mental. Like it's amazing for cricket and all of that, but like it's also like I can't imagine, I comparing the cricket that I grew up with the cricket that is right now.
Yeah.
It's very different. Like we've had MLC just ended, and then we've got Global T20, we've got LPL, and we've got the 100 happening. I guess you can count
CPL
the
too.
Oh, when is
CPL.
that starting?
Yeah, it's gonna start after the India West Indies series ends.
Gee, this
Also,
is
India lost today.
yeah.
Double wicket made in Jason Holder. Thank you for the shout
Yeah.
out.
That's the first, I think, double wicket maiden where I was genuinely sorry, Indian fans. I don't think they listen, actually, never mind. I'm genuinely like happy about it because otherwise I think we've only had double wicket maidens recently ever since we started the show that have been by like, I don't know, county cricket में कोई random बंदा या एक दो PSL में शायद हुए थे एक I think Lahore के against हुआ था I think Pakistan के against भी हुआ था एक
The Adil Rashid one.
Oh right.
In the final.
Never mind. We're not going there. It's fine. Just leave that. It's fine. Let's just pretend like I didn't drop that. I don't want to.
We didn't enjoy that. Clearly, we didn't.
Yeah, like, this is the first time. Thank you, Jason Holder. That we can actually be like, woohoo, double wicket maiden. But yeah.
I think we've talked about Test. We've talked about T20. Let's come to ODI, the superior format. Okay, so are we gonna talk about the Afghanistan series? What are your thoughts? What do you want from it?
Should I go first? Yeah,
I was
wanna
just gonna say we can do like 3 goals also for like what do you want? Not goals, but what you like to see happening there.
3 things. I don't have that many thoughts in my head, but okay, yeah, I'll do it. I'll start. I want I want our top 3 to go well. I think I was talking to you guys about this the other day. I am really, really concerned. Like I saw a tweet that was Pakistan's played such less ODIs, they are yet to be exposed. I was like, wait, what? Like I've been feeling so confident and secure in our setup because we've covered our bases and everything. And I know that people are like, oh, we don't have number 6 and things like that. In my head, we do. They just need to make the right call. I already know what the right call is. Does Hassan
Yeah.
Chima know what the right call is? We will find out. Anyways, so I was feeling really secure. So now I'm like a little bit scared. I want Imam and Fakhr and Babar to have a really, really good series. We've talked about how like our middle order didn't get tested last year. I think it was last year in ODIs, much, but I don't care about them right now. I want them to have a good series. The middle order can get tested in the Asia Cup for all I care. I really am concerned about Imam and Babar's form. And then Fakhr's also had, I know that he did kind of well against New Zealand, but I just need them to do well. That's one important thing for me. The other thing would be obviously a whitewash. I don't know if that counts, but I want a whitewash. I don't want us to lose one. I don't want anything bad to happen. I don't want it to be 1-1. I don't want us to win, lose, and then we go to a decider. I don't want that drama. I don't want any drama before the World Cup. And what else? I don't know. I guess I want us to secure number 6. I want us to play a number 6 guy that does really, really well in at least one game, and then everyone's like, that's our guy, and then we're done. Whether that's Iftikhar, I've come to terms with it, I'm fine with it. If you want to go Mohammad Haris, which by the way, people suddenly hate Mohammad Haris as number 6 now. I was like, everyone's a big fan of him, like until very recently, but anyways. If you're gonna settle on Rizwan at 5 or Aga at 4 and Ifti at 6, whatever, just settle down. Like I want to know what number 6 is. I want to know what order everyone is assigned and what role they have and stuff like that. So that's my 3 things. Sorry for rambling. Go on.
Raiyan, you go next. I'll go last.
Okay. Yeah, for the ODI series, I again just want Aga to do well. I feel like I've said that too many times, but I'm getting really scared as it gets closer and closer to the World Cup. Okay, this might actually happen. And the only other guy who's ever like done this did it in 1987. So I'm just very scared now because it doesn't happen, man. Like this is way too fairy tale for it to work out. Anyway, so I'm just scared about that. Apart from that, yeah, I would like Ifti to score some runs. Fakhr, I would like Fakhr to score some runs against Afghanistan spinners in Sri Lanka, so that like mera dil thoda sa wo ho jaye, because like his average in Asia outside Pindi is kind of bad, but that's like, the small sample size and stuff, hopefully, because otherwise I'm gonna kill myself. So apart from that, Imam and Babar will be fine. And yeah, Rizwan will probably be fine too. If he's not fine, then by the way, Rizwan, for Pakistani wicketkeepers, designated wicketkeepers, the only person who averages more than Rizwan in ODIs is Umar Akbar. So,
Rizwan's in good form, Wese. But I think that's person I'm not concerned about.
Yeah, I don't think he will be a problem. I hope so. Like that's what. I'd like to see Nawaz do well because there are too many opinions about who Nawaz should be replaced by and why Nawaz is not important to the team, and suddenly his bowling is not efficient or his batting is not reliable. I don't know where that's coming from, but I need Nawaz to do well. I need Shadab to do well with both the bowling and the batting. I want Fakhr to score because like he did well on and off again, but I need him to have a good Asia Cup and a good World Cup as well. So I need him to get a good pace on. And the third thing is I want Naseem and Shaheen to get wickets because like getting some wickets, they don't have enough ODI wickets. It doesn't reflect the kind of bowlers that they are. Naseem does actually, because the amount of games he's played, he has a ton of wickets already. But I want them to get wickets because I think that will set them up, like that will give them the confidence that they need going up to the Asia Cup and the World Cup. And like people are having too many opinions about Shaheen's new ball spells in, and whether he's going for runs and everything else. So I want him to deliver some crazy good spells with the new ball, so people shut up about that too. And I think that's all I'm asking for. The rest, I think Babar and Imam, like they should score, but if they don't, like I think I'll tell myself it's all right because I trust them to do it when in the Asia Cup or the World Cup, because I don't think we're playing anything else before the Asia Cup, right? This is
Yeah. The only person we basically didn't wish well is Rauf. But that's a good thing because Rauf is like, he's gonna show up. I love that because 2021 May we were all like, oh, what's gonna happen? 2022 May, I kind of hoped he would do well. But this time I'm actually like, he just kind of shows up in World Cup, so he better show up in World Cup. But also I was thinking on Fakhr's point, because we all mentioned him. We keep saying tin pot T20 leagues. Well, I keep saying tin pot T20 leagues, and I think you guys would agree with that. But I think he's not doing so well in the tin pot T20 leagues.
Yeah, he's not.
Yeah. And like, it would be really nice if he could just kind of like get his shit together, maybe. Because we really, really need him. And this is it. Like, this is, and
last World Cup.
Last World Cup.
Guys will have so much drama attached, unfortunately, because fans on either side can't be normal. So it's high stakes for some reason, even if it's a bilateral series, but it's also right before the World Cup. So just please do well, and God help us. That's it. That's all I have.
Do we want to do like who your probable 15 is? Like, have they announced the squad? Because I haven't checked. They haven't, right? So who are you taking to Sri Lanka for the ODI series?
Okay, Raiyan, you give yours because I feel like we're just gonna agree.
Yeah, I'll just say my answer is also the same.
My answer is also the same. Oh my gosh, that's a Sarfraz Ahmed reference.
Yeah.
I was thinking, why does it sound so familiar in my head? Okay, yeah, go on, Raiyan, please.
So, like, basically, I would have liked that they just announced the Afghanistan series squad, the Asia Cup squad, and the World Cup squad, like all of them just at the same time, and say these are 15 guys. They're just gonna be there. Okay, these are the 15 guys that are going to the World Cup. They're gonna play Afghanistan. They're gonna play the Asia Cup, and then they're gonna play the World Cup. Ideally, I would have liked that, but what they're gonna probably do is like name an 18-man squad and then be like, oh, well, we'll whittle it down to like 15 in the World Cup. So probably like Imam, Fakhr, Babar, Rizwan, Aga, Iftikhar, Nawaz, Shadab, Shaheen, Naseem, Rauf. तो वो 11 हो गए आपके. Then, like, for 12, you've got Shan as backup opener and backup middle order, depending on where. You've got Wasim Jr. You probably have Osama Mir because he's done well as the second, like, backup leg spinner. I would have liked Abrar around there, but it probably will not happen. So that's 14. And then 15 ke liye, they can either go with Abdullah in the squad as similar to Shan, like a backup opener or middle order batsman, depending. Or they could have Haris in the 15 and then Abdullah in like the reserve 3. So that's like up to them. But anyway, those two. And then they'll probably have one more pacer. I don't think so. They actually decided on who that fifth pacer is going to be, because the way you see it, Dahani has the most listed wickets, but they don't trust him a lot, and you can see why. Like, sometimes he gets hit a lot, but he's like, if you were just going purely from player profile, then it's probably Dahani in the front runner, but it's probably not actually, because he has very off days sometimes. So, and the other option is Ahmed Jamal, who, speaking of off days, has a lot of off days. So, and then like for the outliers, you've got Hassan Ali, because wo Babar ko shayad experience bhi chahiye, and it's just like Hassan ko le jaye World Cup, which I would really like. Hassan ko bas le jaye, just to make everybody happy. But and like Arshad Iqbal did well in the Emerging Cup, and he seems a bit fitter now. So maybe if agar uski fitness sahi hai, to maybe he could also be an outlier for the fifth pacer spot. So the fifth pacer spot is actually very undecided, But luckily, that's probably in the reserves. Like fourth pacer, at least, is Wasim Jr. And finally, for the last spot, like the 18th spot, they may go with another middle order batsman, proper middle order batsman as backup in case Aga gets injured or something. So it may be Tayyab because he did well in the emerging, or it may be Saud because he did well in the Sri Lanka series. So, and Heather, if he gets it. No, nothing. I didn't say anything. But so did Tayyab.
You didn't hear from us. You didn't hear from us. This is your inner voice telling you that Heather Ali should go. We didn't say anything.
No, it completely ignored that part. Actually, CD cut that out.
Thank you. Listen, from county cricket to the World Cup, this is the pipeline. This
Listen,
is Pakistan
there
cricket at this point.
There might be only 3 people in the entire world who will believe this. It's Raiyan, CD, and my father. He's gonna pay for Heather's ticket. He will pay for his ticket to send it.
Yeah, I think those are interesting options. I say Tayyab and South for Aga. Like, I mean, I get the logic, but Jesus, I mean, you don't feel the same way when Aga walks out the back.
You get a sense, like once you start like listing the reserves and stuff, you realize how paper thin your depth is. And you basically just have 11 guys, and now you gotta hope those 11 guys stay fit.
Yeah, I don't know who I was talking to about this, but I was like, our ODI team is really good, but that's our ODI 11. Like when I say ODI team, I mean ODI 11. But yeah, hope, like, fingers crossed, touch wood, whatever, those 11 remain fine. Like, give or take, the max I can do with is exchange Haris or Ifti, but even that's stretching it for me. But that's the max I can push into the team. Otherwise, if anything else happens, I will be throwing a fit. My entire mental health depends on this World Cup, so I will be throwing a fit if anything happens to anyone. So God, like, you owe us after 2022 and 2021. So like, fingers crossed, please. Hope this goes well.
Yeah. But yeah, that was a lot, but I think that's a really good note to end it on as well.
Yep.
So that was our recap of the test series and kind of like review and thoughts and all, and also cricket in general, what's been going on in the world, and also kind of a preview of the Afghanistan series. Yeah, we'll see you after we whitewash them 3-0. Actually, no, you will see us or Zoha sooner than that. But
yeah,
it's for another tweet, another episode. And yeah, thank you for listening in. We will see you next time. Bye-bye.